Good afternoon, gamers. I hope you're having a lovely weekend. As the thumbnail says, today we're going to be discussing Chud the Builder. As the Rightoids like to say, well, if it isn't the consequences of our actions. He was fucking around and now he's finding out. He's in the find out phase. It's very, very rightoid. They love to say these things, especially to women, because of course, only women get away with things, of course. But today we're going to talk about Chud the Builder because I was listening to Asmongold, as I do, and I cannot believe it, but I found myself agreeing with Asmongold and realizing just how rightoid his rightoid fan base is. His rightoid fan base was pushing back that he deserves to go free, and I'm like, aren't you guys the ones that say fuck around, find out, and now you're find out? They want to make him the Kyle Rittenhouse of their world again, but that's a completely different situation. And Kyle was legit defending himself. This guy was going into the streets and provoking people. Now, I'll react to Asmon's clip in a minute because I think first we gotta look at some things. You could, I started off like, you could go and look up Chud the Builder and all you would find is all this mainstream media shit, and they don't know anything. Just all of these people, they don't know anything. If you really want to know things, you gotta go to Kiwi Farms. Occasionally our drama has things, but a lot of times our drama will copy from Kiwi Farms. So I'm going to bring up some things that are from Kiwi Farms. I can't post everything to my screen because we know that Chud the Builder, his whole thing was to go up to black people and call them slurs. So I have to kind of dance around certain topics, certain things that he said. But I think there's interesting information that you don't see, and I didn't hear Asmon go over as his Chud rightoid audience was saying some god-awful things. He did have a few leftoids pushing back, but for the most part, it was rightoids, and I was like, oh my god, I agree with Asmon, which the gist of it is the guy was provoking people and asking for, he was fucking around, and he found out, and now he's claiming to be this innocent little victim. He has a GiveSendGo. And if you read this, it's kind of like, what the hell happened, dude? Like, everybody's really tough when they're in the fuck around stage, and then they're in the find out stage, the thing that Chuds like to throw at leftoids and women. And now it's, dear friends, my name is Dalton. I was fired from my contracting job after BLM activists targeted me over words I shared online. I'm going to skip around a little bit. But now, let's see, with no other way to support my family and my precious 2-year-old son, I poured everything into this small business, working tirelessly to provide for my family. But now that dream is under attack, not for the quality of my work, but for what I say online. I've shared mild jokes, unfiltered thoughts, etc., etc. So basically, he wants to play like he's an innocent little butterfly when he really isn't. Apparently, the mom was trying to change the son's name and was trying to get away from him. So another thing rightoids like to talk about is the long history of somebody. They shouldn't be allowed to just be let out to recommit crimes, things like that. Apparently, Chud, aka Dalton, has a very long history of doing things. This is mainly drug-related crimes. I don't know what all of these crimes are, but one of them was posted. It was drug-related. So he has a long history of doing things he's not supposed to. And the typical, normal, not 1%, or is it 2% that Asmon talks about? 2%, if you locked up the 2%, he is a part of the 2% that should have been locked up. Somebody posted in January of 2025 that he's a crazy person. Completely unhinged. This is Facebook, I believe. Yeah, this is Facebook. This looks like a Facebook icon. Completely unhinged. Took advantage of me and my body, and I was terrified. He's racist. He has skinned wolves in his trailer. A literal shack. Bugs everywhere. Cameras inside his house everywhere. I'm scared to even post this because this man is insane. Please steer clear. So, if we go with this and we believe this, then this guy had some mental issues way before this was ever happening. I don't know when he started to post his craziness. Apparently, this all started because of a road rage incident with two black women, and he did the thing that he does. He called them slurs, and the story got posted to social media, and Dalton got fired. That must have been related to this story that he's posting. So apparently that happened, and this is what turned him into a chud. And if you don't know, I can't post the videos here again. Kiwi Farms has all this information. If you watch the videos, he basically goes up to black people and calls them slurs, and he was basically fucking around and trying to provoke them to actually do something. Now, you would say, well, he carried a gun on him because he was protecting himself, and when I get into the Asmon video, I think it's clear that he was in this way protecting himself. He wouldn't have had to protect himself if he wasn't provoking somebody to actually do something. I think it's going to be an interesting case because unlike the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, he was provoking somebody to actually do something. And I think this tweet is what's going to harm him. And there's more of these. I just don't have them all. I didn't want to post them all. This is one of several where he talks about he's finally going to shoot somebody. It's going to be his season finale. This one is deleted because it got flagged after the shooting. So you can't see it. There's only a picture of it. This kind of indicates that he was planning to shoot somebody. And I think that's really going to hurt his case. If you compare it to the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, Kyle went there, and you could argue he didn't have to go there, but he wasn't provoking people. He was cleaning up trash. He was moving garbage cans around. He was really kind of minding his own business. He just didn't have to be there, but he was there, and some thugs decided they wanted to try to, what it seemed like, hurt him very, very badly, if not kill him. And he turned around and defended himself. And I think he deserved to be set free. But with Chud, I think it's a little different. It's kind of one of those things that I think is a centrist take. I agree with Asmon, as he said. Chud deserves to have the book thrown at him. He deserves to stay in jail. He is obviously mentally unwell. He was provoking things, and he was carrying a gun around because he expected to shoot somebody. He was just waiting for the right person to do something so that he could do it. It's almost like he wanted to shoot somebody. He was looking forward to it, and he finally did. The problem is that he was legitimately defending himself. Now, according to some of the things I've read, he's facing up to 56 years. I feel like this guy really, he does deserve to stay in jail. He's part of the 2%. If we go around and we follow the ChudTheLogic, he's part of the 2%, right? So I encourage, if you want to see more of his antics and the things that people were posting about him and the things he was posting himself, to go to Kiwi Farms and find the thread, because a lot of it is documented, and the guy was looking for problems. He was hoping that somebody would hit him so that he could shoot somebody, and his Twitter history is, I think, the most damning thing about it all. If he didn't have the Twitter history, I would maybe lean more on the side of like, he was just talking shit and defended himself, but it looked like he wanted to shoot somebody and he got that opportunity. That said, with coverage of that a little bit, because Asmon doesn't have that information and he doesn't really talk about that. Note to Asmon, if by any small chance you're actually listening, nobody goes to 4chan anymore. If you really want to be up to date on all your slurs and you want to feel like you know everything on the internet, 4chan is not the place to go anymore, buddy. So let's see what Asmon has to say. Now, when I stopped this clip to go ahead and talk about it, you notice right here, like, this kind of is sidetracking a little bit, but oh my God, do you Rightoids think of anything else besides politicoping? Oh my God. This is kind of the beginning of his stream. This is 17 minutes in, but wait, Kamala, spies in the mayor, Chinese people, communism, Iran, don't know who he's talking about there, Taiwan and China. Oh my God, man. They're comparing Chud's bond to this, his name is Karmelo. Chud got 1.25 million. This guy got, I think, 250,000 or something like that. There is a point to be made there, but sitting around and doing the whataboutism, I think, is really bad, because the fact is, this guy was looking to hurt somebody. He's mentally unwell, and he needs to be put in jail for the rest of his life. He's part of the 2%. Sorry, Chuds. He's not your Kyle Rittenhouse. This guy is a bad person. But let's see what Asmon has to say, and let's see him fight back on his audience, his extremist rightoid audience.
The ChudTheBuilder situation. I guess this is really, this is the video here. We'll take a look at it. So
bail's we're gonna have a bail.
I'm gonna set just a bond right now after we have our bail hearing. Then I'll let you make all the arguments. We can go through all the factors in the statute and see if that gets amended up or down. Okay?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to set initial bond at 1.25 million.
that's a lot.
1.25 million.
If you think your life is hard now, buddy, now it's even harder. You're in the find out stage. Welcome to the Chud world that you love so much. Fuck around and find out.
Based upon the fact of how many people were in the courtyard, we're here at the courthouse, and the seriousness of all.
Check out this black guy. Check out this black guy looking at him. Like, yeah, buddy. Yeah, say it to my face. Say it to my face. Say it now, buddy. Say it. He won't even look at him, and this dude's just staring at him. That's hilarious.
All these felonies.
What's the logic that there were a lot of people at the courtyard, so it was bad? Like, if it was self-defense, then logically, I mean, like, he didn't choose to have somebody punch him, right? So, like, I mean, you're basically victim blaming at that point if you're saying that him firing the gun and what he is perceived to be, so it doesn't make sense.
And his bond status.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
So
he was brandishing beforehand, people say?
9 o'clock, I'm sorry. The 21st at 9 o'clock for a bond hearing, and then the 26th at 9 for a preliminary hearing right here. Does that work for everybody's calendar? General, does that work for the state?
Yes.
All right.
Just for the court's information and Mr. Finley, the state is going to request and file a source hearing when and if there's an attempt to make bond.
Okay. Is there any objection of us taking all those matters up at the bond hearing on the 21st?
No,
And Mr. Finley, do you have any objection to doing it that way? That's the most efficient way, I think.
Judge, we'll try and have everything lined up for the court.
Okay. All right. Anything else, Mr. Finley, from you today?
No, sir.
All right. From the state? Okay. That'll conclude these proceedings today, okay?
Thank you.
Court will be in recess.
That's the way it is. Okay, so this is the way I look at it, right? Is like, I look at this guy and I see what's happened. Like, so, and also, like, look at this guy, right? I mean, this is Karmelo Anthony. We remember Karmelo Anthony. What is the universe where Karmelo Anthony stabs a person in the...
Now, he does have a point here. I know he's going to finish, but he does have a point. This guy also deserves a $1.25 million bond. He shouldn't be able to be out of jail here. This guy's a psycho, too, and a part of the 2%. For sure. But I think we should also focus on this guy was, for months, provoking and doing the FA stage, the fuck around stage. This guy snapped. So they both deserve to be in jail, but I don't think they're similar in that way.
chest over a disagreement over a chair, and his bond is lower than Chud's bond. You see what I'm saying, right? And so the big problem that I think a lot of people have with this and why they're upset about it is that it seems like there's a very clear legal double standard where you have some.
See, this is where I disagree with Asmon. I don't think there's a double standard here. This guy snapped. This guy has been looking to shoot somebody for months. He wanted to do it. They're both mentally unwell, but this guy was looking for a problem. He went out, set out, would bait people, and was hoping one day he could get somebody to hit him so that he could shoot them. Now, again, you can't go around hitting people. Violence is never the answer. You can't go around hitting people because they said a mean word to you. That's wrong, and the other guy deserves to go to jail too. Now, Asmon will say that eventually when he sees more into it, but I think it's wrong to compare these two.
Some people that are held to a very, very high standard of behavior by the law, and other people who, for some reason or another, get pretty much a slap on the wrist and that's it. So that's what I think the problem is. And give the same energy? Yeah, exactly. That's all I want to see, is I want to see the exact same energy. And I think there's a huge problem. And there's another component to this, right? He was baiting people. If you get baited, a way to minimize it, I am minimizing it. I am.
Yeah, first he addresses the leftoid. He is minimizing it. The leftoids and the rightoids, they're so alike they don't even realize it. Leftoids think the guy deserves to get murdered because he said a word, and the rightoids think that he deserves to shoot a guy after he was provoking somebody and wanted to shoot somebody. It's so crazy to me. But I've always said, I agree with 80% of what Asmon says, and he's about to push back on both sides. I couldn't believe it. That's why I'm bringing it up today.
Let me explain the reason why. Because if you say a word to a person and then that person hits you,
yes,
I don't want to live in that country.
Exactly. Don't put your hands on people. Yeah, they're a piece of shit. Walk away. It's just a word. I don't want to, that's not the way that you can run things. You can't do things that way. Like, imagine if people... And I did see the Sneeko clip where the guy was like, okay, Sneeko, say fuck Allah. I can say fuck Allah because I'm not religious.
People decide that every time that I hear something that makes me mad, I get to go out and beat somebody up. It would be impossible to run a country or a society like that. Like, you couldn't do that. So the entire premise of you want to start telling people that he was looking to pull his gun out? Well, then that's totally different. I mean, again, like, what I'm saying is that, like, whenever...
Yeah, see, Asmon's finding out information as he's talking, but that's just part of live streaming.
You have somebody, though, like, and again, have I seen that evidence? No, I haven't. I haven't seen that evidence. If you show me that evidence, then I can...
Watch my stream, Asmon. I just put it on my screen.
Just my opinion. But right now, I haven't seen that. So how can I make a decision off of something that I haven't seen? So that's it. He was a harasser. He was definitely instigating. He was instigating. He absolutely was. But instigating doesn't mean that somebody is allowed to punch you. And also, if you do get punched, this is the reality. And also, like, let me take a step back, because I think that I'm arguing this from the wrong direction. I agree with what's happening to Chud. I pretty much do. Maybe it's too heavy-handed, maybe not. What I don't agree with is that it doesn't happen to everybody else. So that's the main issue that I have. It's not necessarily that this guy is getting, basically crucified for this. It's that everybody else isn't on a cross next to him. So I don't necessarily...
Yeah, he's right in that way, but we don't know the outcome of the Karmelo stuff yet, because I don't think his case is... I think it's still pending, and there hasn't been a court case yet. They both need to go to jail for a very long time. I just don't think it's similar. I think this guy snapped, Karmelo snapped, and this guy purposely went out to bait people into hitting him so that he could shoot him. He wanted to shoot people, and this has been going on for months.
necessarily have a problem with like, oh wow, this guy goes to jail, because he is an aggravator. He is, because I'm thinking about this like, no, it's actually like, it has nothing to do with like really, like I'm thinking about it from the wrong direction. Why so fragile, huh? Yeah, exactly. And so, like, why is the why is it that, you know, somebody like this goes to jail and is treated with all of these like extreme measures, but other people that are violent are able to just be let free after a couple of years? And I think that's a huge problem. That's a
Look at his chat. Look at his chat. He is an agitator. They can't even spell agitator. However, you don't get to assault someone over a word. Yes, yes. I'll probably skip the part where he's talking about activist judges and dumb shit like that. But he eventually starts pushing back on his rightoid audience.
massive issue and should be equal under the law. And I think this is what's happened, right? Is that I do think that we have racial rulings. I think that we apply the justice system unfairly based off of racial biases. And I think that if you look at the way juries derive convictions based off of race, I think that...
Look at this guy. I'm scared to be white nowadays. Oh, come on. See, do rightoids go outside? I know leftoids don't go outside, but do rightoids go outside? You guys are supposed to be the side, the team, the red team that's like, oh, I have a family and kids and I go outside. You guys, that's what you're supposed to be. But you guys are just as bad. Look, I'm scared to be white. Please, that's ridiculous.
That's very evident, and it's completely true. And whenever you have people that are treated with like kid gloves, and by the way, white and black is like the easy mode of this. The hard mode is men and women. Women get just insanely disproportionately lighter sentences than men do. And it's not fair. Fundamentally, I have a very hard time respecting a judicial system when the judicial system is being used in a way that is so obviously one-dimensional, right?
I'm going to skip around. Let's see.
Chud was looking for problems?
Oh,
yes.
here we go.
Well, you're missing my point, right? Why is the thing that's happening to Chud right now not happening to every other gangbanger and every other retard that's running around, like, for example, like driving the car around? Like, why is it that the people that were driving that car around in the intersection when everything was on fire with the Palestine flag, why are they not in jail for a bond of $125 million?
I agree that those people are annoying and I hate them and they need to be in jail too. I hate the politicopers, the rioters. I know they like to call themselves protesters. They're rioters and they need to be shut down. I agree. But I just don't think it's the same thing. I don't think they were riding around looking to harm somebody. They weren't riding around looking to hurt somebody. And I know some people are like, yes they were. I think they were riding around looking to damage property, which I don't think is at the same level as what ChudTheBuilder was doing.
Why is Karmelo Anthony out on a bond that was less than that? There's something that's fundamentally wrong about this, and that's the issue that I have. It's race related because he's white, exactly, and I think that really it is an unfair double standard that's being applied. And I think that more white people are realizing this, that, you know, again, there is own group preference being applied for whenever, let's say, there's a woman being put in jail or something like that, or you have these people that are, and also it's white people too, but in general, these soft on crime policies. And I do think that obviously they do give these people lighter sentences.
That's why blue team's never going to win again for a very long time, because the average normal person doesn't want homeless people around their neighborhood and they don't want crime. Be harder on crime. I don't want crime around me. I'm not a violent person. I'm not a criminal. I don't want that shit around me.
Sentences because they don't want to be seen as, like, you know, sending a black man to jail for life. I think that's true. And I think it's an overcorrection because before they wanted to be seen for doing that. They did that on purpose. So now we have an overcorrection where people are effectively doing things that are making the world less safe because they don't want to continue what they perceive to be racism, right? So that's it. The cunt that stabbed Arena. Yeah, I mean, how is it that person, like, I mean, I'm not even really sure about that person's status or anything else. You're missing a big point here. Bond comes from someone's net worth. Bond is not a sentence.
I'm going to skip this because I don't know how true that is. Bond is based off of your net worth. I don't know if that's true or not. I've never heard that before.
Well, but why should the bond, like, so that to happen? There's no reasoning if they murder somebody to get out of jail. So it's coming from cops? Yeah, I don't see that at all. You're not taking into consideration women judges? Well, I'm taking into consideration...
I'm going to skip the women judges. The women judges.
Unfair. He should. Absolutely, he should have the book thrown at him.
There we go.
And again, I don't know, and I haven't seen the footage. The police probably have the footage. The actual footage of what happened is probably not publicly available. So what we know of what...
Actually, it is available. Well, there's a distance video on Kiwi Farms. You can see the guy... You can't, there's no audio because it's so far away, and you can see the guy punching at him, and you assume he gets shot. There's also a Discord message explaining what happened. I guess the black guy hit him in the head, and the phone flew out of his hand. So there's no footage of what actually happened because his phone flew out of his hand. And then you hear 5 shots. So, and according to Chud, the guy kept swinging even after getting shot, so he was mad.
What happened in this situation is, like, again, like, just different people describing, like, something that they don't really know. They have no idea. And so I think that we really need to wait and see what actually happened. And yeah, exactly. And these are the same people. Left-wing policy are trying to compensate for a history of racism by going the other way instead of treating people the same. Yes, you know dang well it's about them making money. The legal system is a way for them to govern government money. Everything's about money, whatever the issue is. Well, I mean, that's fine, but you still can't make an ethical argument around that, right? Which is what my point was. So my big issue, you know the truth, the black guy who attacked Chud was successful in killing him. The judge would rule he's incompetent to stand trial and let him walk. And this is what Alex Jones said. And I think that there's more people that are realizing that there is an obvious double standard. And I think that where this is where it's going. Support Chud. I think that he was an agitator. Yes. He was intentionally trying to provoke people. He brought a gun there because he even said that he was going to use the gun. I mean, by the way, he's not going to win self-defense. If you have saying prior to that you're bringing a gun with you because you want to kill like a dead, like, I mean, I'm not going to use the racial.
Yeah, that's what's so hard about covering this is you can't show the videos of him. You have to be careful what tweets you show of him. A lot of the information is surrounding slurs and things. So it's hard to cover it without saying you got to go look at the stuff yourself. Can't put it on the screen.
Old term, right? Just, I don't want to get in trouble. But like, you know, like you want to kill like a dead black person. That just makes you like, there's no way he's winning this. Like, it's just not going to happen. It's GG. Like, if he hadn't had that, like, it's going to be harder to say. But you can't go around saying this, right? And I hope he gets off. I think that we should look at this instance.
See, that's a writer. I hope he gets off. No. This guy is mentally unwell. He's a 2%er. What does Asmongold always talk about? This guy's a 2%er. He needs to go to jail. Throw him in jail.
And then in the future, every single time that a person gets let free for being violent or shooting somebody or for doing anything crazy, I think we should look at this instance and say, like, well, why is there a difference here? Because I think that this is something that's being done that's politically and racially motivated. And I think it's being done for social reasons. And that's it. So everyone knows the double standard exists. No one gives a shit. Well, I think that people should give a shit. Like, there should never be a world where the legal system has a double standard for different people. It just should not happen. And so that's where,
So I'm going to stop here, mainly because my headset is running low on battery. But I want to say, I don't think I got as far as I wanted to, but if you read his chat, his very, very rightoid chat, Asmongold does push back on his chat. He pushes back on both sides because he has a centrist take on this, and it's the one time I actually 100% agree with what Asmon said. Both these guys, Karmelo, I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Both these guys and ChudTheLogic need to go to jail. They're both the 2%ers. They need to go. ChudTheLogic is in the find out stage. I hope they throw the book at him. And that's my commentary for today. Please like and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.